Welcome to the Never Seen It podcast, the only podcast called Never Seen It that's worth listening to. With us tonight, as always, Mr. Arnie, the one-man party, aka Arnold Callego, Mr. Daily Dares, aka Filipino Grigio, aka Alex Callego, the brothers Callego, Mr. Ghost Nerd 88, aka Justin Holden, and there's me, Boots Too Big, aka Adrian De La Torre. It's the Core Four. It's the Core Four, as I like to call it.
The Core Four.
And tonight we are discussing
the Hardcore Four.
What's that?
The Hardcore Four.
The Hardcore Four, yeah. We're discussing the 2018 horror film Overlord.
1,000-year army needs 1,000-year soldiers.
Directed by Julius Avery. In France, in June of 1944, on the eve of D-Day, some American paratroopers fall behind enemy lines, and their aircraft crashes while on a mission to destroy a radio tower in a small village near the beaches of Normandy. After reaching their target, the surviving paratroopers realize that in addition to fighting the Nazi troops that patrol the village, they also must fight against something else, something evil. So, who hadn't seen this movie before? Right. So, Justin, I believe this was your movie.
Yes.
You picked it. Tell us, why did you choose Overlord?
I feel like Overlord is a bit of a different kind of film from what we're normally used to watching. Something a little bit more fun, something a little bit more action-packed, with a little bit of horror on the side as well, especially for our Halloween season coming up. I chose this to be our Halloween movie. I feel like this movie in particular went a little bit under the radar, and I believe the box office kind of shows. I don't necessarily think it was overshadowed by anything else from the little research I did do. I know there was a few movies that came out during that time that I think kind of sort of overshadowed Overlord, but I think this is one of those really interesting flicks that honestly I guess was produced by J.J. Abrams, but was written and directed by a completely different team. But I think this was a fantastic film to check out for Halloween. I felt like you guys would have liked it as well. I know we've covered some military movies in the past, and I feel that this one in particular was just unique enough to where it wasn't necessarily all about the war and the quest of the war or the adventure through the war. It was more of what happened to these guys in particular on a covert mission. And, speaking of covert mission, I just wanted Overlord, why the movie's called Overlord is because it's actually based off of like a couple of operations, real operations during World War II. There was like Operation Overlord and Operation Neptune. Operation Neptune was actually D-Day in particular, and Operation Overlord was an operation that happened just before, what do they call it, the D-Day Eve or whatever. So that is why this movie is called Overlord. Now, I know they've taken little things here and there from real history of World War II and kind of mixed it up with a horror, sci-fi, body horror type of action film. And I think me choosing this was a great way to kind of open discussion on genre, or not even genre films, but like timepieces as well. So that's why I chose it. I loved the film. I think it needed a little bit more visibility than it got in 2018. I saw this one in theaters actually, and when I originally saw this in theaters, when I got into the theater, there was like no one watching this thing. There was like maybe me and one or two other groups of people that went in to see this film. And I walked out and I was like, wow, I'm blown away. But the theater experience, I will say, is also a little bit different from like watching at home. So I actually, when we get through the rest of this episode, I do have some like qualms that I've experienced just being a viewer at home rather than watching it on the big screen.
Awesome. No, yeah, I'd never heard about this movie. I feel like the marketing was non-existent. I didn't hear a single. I don't recall ever seeing any sort of promotion for this at all. So I was surprised that it was like a J.J. Abrams produced movie, and it had Wyatt Russell, who, by the way, every time I see him in anything, he's getting his ass handed to him. He gets his ass handed to him in that episode of Black Mirror. He gets his ass handed to him in Thunderbolts. And he gets his ass handed to him in this movie.
Yeah.
But he is a hero. At the very least, I feel like he's more of a hero in this movie than in Thunderbolts, I think. But that's my hot take for the night.
Is Wyatt Russell
Kurt Russell's son, yeah.
Oh,
the in the movie?
I actually did not know that. Was that for real? I'm gonna fact check that.
You don't believe me when I say he's Kurt Russell's son?
Yeah,
He looks like the guy.
I don't think he
That's
really
for
looks
real.
like him, but hey,
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Corporal.
Well,
Actually,
he's a conglomeration of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, so you have to consider
That's
that.
right.
Oh, okay. You're
Goldie
right.
Hawn is his
You know,
mom.
Was it he was gonna play, or he was like kind of anti Captain America? I forget which Avengers movie or which Marvel movie it was. I always felt like this was like the lead up, like if this was like pre, like Avengers or post Captain America, where he was like hopping on to it. I forget the character's name in particular, where he was trying to be Captain America. I feel like this is the prelude to that. He's also from like the World War II era.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Wasn't he in one of the Marvel shows where he is like the new Captain America as well?
Well, he plays U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent is
that's what it is.
the next Captain America. It's supposed to be the next one, because he gets the super soldier serum, the similar one that Steve Rogers gets.
And look at that. He gets a serum in this movie too.
And that's my only correlation to this
That's the
movie.
only yeah, he's good. The rest of the cast, I had no idea who any of them are still.
One of the actors, the one that plays
Boyce?
not Boyce,
at the beginning, they got blown up.
The Italian.
the one that kind of like is kind of antagonistic towards Boyce at the very beginning.
The little Italian guy. who
Oh, yeah.
he kinda talks like this.
He's
That guy.
he's plays the male supporting character in that movie Past Lives. The Celine song, romantic.
I saw that. I don't remember
drama.
him in Past Lives. Really?
Yeah, he was the husband. He played the husband.
That's so funny. I do not remember him in that
Yeah.
movie at all. And I watched that not that long ago either.
Yeah,
And I think
it's kind of like a very like different style of character, so you probably couldn't recognize him in the first place. So yeah,
And wasn't
Yeah,
the
'cause
guy at the beginning when they're walking in the field, and then he stepped on the what do you call that bomb? He was in Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't he the
played-
yeah, he was in
Grey
Game of
Worm.
Thrones, not Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is the straight to DVD version. It's Game of
Yeah.
Thrones After Dark, right, Arnold?
no, that was just a slip of the tongue.
It's always a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, where you slipping
what?
that tongue in?
Yeah. Speaking of them walking in the field, I was getting some serious Saving Private Ryan vibes in that opening scene, especially when they're talking about writing a book. And there's that same scene in Saving Private Ryan where they're asking what's his name Upham about his book while they're walking through a field. It's always like, oh, this is like straight from Saving Private Ryan, but like obviously completely different tone, but still set in like a World War II setting. Hey, Chris is in the chat, by the way. Chris is in the chat. Hello, Chris. He says connecting the red strings. Justin, I don't know what that means. Oh, is it like when a detective connects the red strings to like figure out a murder case? Is that what he's referencing? Yeah. HLP says Game of Throat had some major slipping of a tongue. Yes, it did. HLP. Yes, it did. HLP's always got the funny
Well,
wisecracks in the chat. So
I wanted to say, like, when it comes to, I know J.J. Abrams didn't direct this movie; he just produced it. But it just seems like anything that J.J. Abrams has done, from like the movie Super 8 to even the way that like Star Wars is filmed as well. At least the ninth episode, or what episode is it? Seventh, episode 7 and
Seventh.
9, whatever episodes he directed. But
Yeah,
it always feels like he kind of piggybacks off of the like Steven Spielberg's style.
oh yeah,
That's always kind of been J.J. Abrams' thing. Was like, oh, I'm a reinvented Steven Spielberg. He'll never be that degree. Don't get me wrong. I like some of his movies, I really do, but I don't think. But you can kind of see the, how do you say, the themes similar to how Steven Spielberg makes their movies as well. And I think like the beginning of like the Band of Brothers type of thing is definitely a huge influence of Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan probably flipped on its head a little bit.
yeah. I mean, J.J. Abrams has been cribbing from Steven Spielberg his entire fucking career. I mean, he did Super 8, was supposed to be like a Goonies with aliens, but hot take of the night, number 2, I didn't like Super 8. I thought it was a boring movie. I mean, the idea was cool, but execution wise, it was not for me. So no surprise there, I guess. Also, how can you not honor the Saving Private, which is a great movie, and Tom Hanks is great in that, and I have no problem with Tom Hanks, by the way, for those of you listening, because people thought I was shitting on Tom Hanks. No, I was shitting on his character.
I'll shit on Tom Hanks.
Alex, sorry, I think you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Don't worry.
But yeah, I like the opening scene. I thought the effects were really good, although all those planes really felt very like CGI. But I was reading that they actually built the plane that the main guys were in on a gimbal, and then they flipped it like at an angle to get them tumbling through like actual fire effects. So the movie did incorporate a lot of pyrotechnics and practical effects, which you can sort of tell in the end when he's running out of that tunnel and all that stuff is blowing out around him. That felt like a video game, didn't it?
It felt like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, like an action movie.
Yeah.
Running away from the.
Speaking of video games, like this movie also has like a lot of heavy reference on like Castle Wolfenstein. It's got the
I could see that
vibes too.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Is that Justin? Is our resident gamer guy is Wolfenstein worth it? Because I think I downloaded a version of that a long time ago.
The remake Wolfenstein, or whatever, the one that's on the newer consoles, yes. However, they did come out with like a couple of like DLCs, and I think like a side game, like a spin-off game or whatever. Don't play those, just play the core game, and then obviously the original Castle Wolfensteins are classic for a reason, but very, very, very outdated stuff. But they're good games. They're worth it. I think the story's great. The gunplay's great. It's pretty brutal. You kill
Here's what
Nazis.
I want to say. Speaking of Nazis, I would love to live in a timeline where Nazis were no longer relevant, but unfortunately, I no longer live in a timeline where Nazis are no longer relevant. So, that kind of bums me out a little bit. But you know what? It is what it is, Maybe the Nazis will finally go away again. But we'll see, right? This movie, though, did you guys notice that there was no Nazi swastika used at all throughout this movie? Did you guys notice that?
No, I did not notice that, but that makes a lot of sense.
I was kind of looking for it. Yeah, I didn't notice it.
The closest thing we got was the SS symbol on the guy's lighter.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that's like what it would.
And that's not entirely historically inaccurate, because back then there were Nazi soldiers, and there were like German army soldiers, and the German army soldiers didn't necessarily wear Nazi insignia and stuff like that. Like they just had like whatever that already existed prior to like the Nazi party coming to power. So, these guys just happen to be, I guess, just German soldiers who are also Nazis. So, either way, it's bad, right? Either way, it's bad. Arnold, what was your perception of this movie prior to watching it, by the way?
Well, I was like, well, Justin, you mentioned that we did a war movie before. I was trying to think, what war movie did we do before? I couldn't really remember.
Uh, what what was that? We did a war movie episode, didn't we? Like, kind of. What movie was
Trying to
that?
think.
That's I
Yeah,
can't recall.
I couldn't
We did
recall.
do a war
But
movie.
we did
Did
a
we?
war movie or a horror movie?
What kind of war
Uh,
movie? What do we remember? What war it was? There's been so many of them. I can't recall.
I could have sworn because I know we talked
yeah.
about it in one of the episodes, and I just it escapes me right now on which
Oh, all good.
movie. Or if we
I'll
didn't, maybe I'm crazy. I have no idea. I don't
We'll have
remember.
our interns
uh,
look into it and get back to
Yeah,
us on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I mean,
if
we watched stuff with Nazis before. I mean, we watched the Nazis in that movie
oh,
with the girl with the boobs, Rose McGowan, Doom Generation. There was Nazis in there, and there was Nazis in something else we watched recently too. I know what you're talking about, Arnold, but I can't make the connection.
HLP said Star Wars. That's what it was.
That's
Star
Space
Wars,
Nazis.
yeah. Space Nazis.
HLP always coming in clutch, man. You're
Yeah,
the MVP,
yeah.
HLP. By the way, we were having some audio issues on the TikTok stream because it's pointing to the Twitch stream. I had the Twitch stream on mute, so that's why there was no audio, but that's fixed now. So if you're on TikTok, you can hear us, I hope. So I just heard it, so I think we're good. But yeah,
Very good. Very good.
we have
Oh, yeah.
5 viewers online tonight. I don't know how many of them are actually listening, but it's all good. HLP and Chris, I think you guys are gonna fill in whatever gaps we have. But yeah,
Yeah.
Alex, tell me
Oh.
what was? Oh, go ahead. Just
So no, sorry. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily a war movie, but it was. I believe it was Pan's Labyrinth because it had like similar wartime theming. So
oh
maybe not
yeah.
necessarily outright a war movie, but yeah, that.
Similar vibes.
But go
Yeah.
ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's always like the soldier, the officer that's an asshole.
Yeah.
a lot of that going on.
You know, I had a dream that was somewhat similar to like, the Germans, how they were injecting their people, you're experimenting, and having like this super soldier. I remember, I don't know, for whatever reason, this dream, it really just sticks out. Like I still remember it. Like most dreams, you like forget like a couple hours later, but this one, it was so disturbing to me. It felt so real that I still remember it. And it was like, I remember waking up, or in the dream, we're underground in a cell, and then there were like these gigantic, but it was Russian, not German. For whatever reason, I knew it was Russian, but like Russian super soldiers, and we being me, my wife, and I remember like immediate family. You were there, Alex, mom, dad, Donnie, but then like we somehow ran out and got out of there. Sorry, that's Molly, who's all excited over treats and everything, hopping around. But we got out, and then we saw like a bunch of our other like family and relatives, like who were, I guess we were taken over by like Russians and stuff, and there was like these super soldiers. You're in the picture.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
It was like it was kind of ominous because it was in the corner, just like Carla, just like that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was always watching you.
But yeah, for whatever reason, I just remember that it was like all these Russian super soldiers that were really huge and they looked scary.
Arnold, let me ask you: Are you a superstitious person?
Superstitious?
Like,
No, not really.
Do you think
But
that you had a past life? Maybe. Do you think you do
No.
you believe in past life now? Oh, okay. I thought
But-
maybe
but
in a past life you were a
um,
soldier.
I do tend to be interested in like, what do you call them? Okay,
Paranormal?
the paranormal conspiracies.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that makes a
What's your favorite
good,
conspiracy?
That's
I need to give you more
there's so
prep work
many.
before you show.
There's so many, and I see a mosquito. I gotta get it.
Let me
Man.
ask you this, Arnold.
You see a
Where do you
speeder?
stand on chemtrails?
Ah, damn it.
Close. Close. This is the kind of vibe we bring
Okay.
to the Never Seen a Podcast.
Oh,
Go ahead.
chemtrails are real.
Oh.
Arnold's just some context. Arnold's filming from Vietnam in like the jungles, so
Yeah, there's so many
that's
mosquitoes
why there's
here.
mosquitoes and everything.
He's doing a movie with
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
They're doing Tropic Thunder 2.
There's
Can you
also
imagine if Arnold became a famous actor just overnight? He was like the Filipino Jack Black or something. Like, that'd be amazing, Arnold. I could see that. I could see you like stumbling into Hollywood and becoming like an A-list supporting character actor. You know what I'm saying?
I probably poopy my chonies.
On
The
set?
malaria.
Yes, on set. And then I would deny it. I'd be like, "What is that smell?" And then I'd be like, "I really gotta take a piss, guys. I'll be right back." And then next thing you know, I'm just what do you call it when you're free balling it? What do you?
Free thinking.
Commando.
Commando. Yeah.
Oh, going commando.
Yeah, Arnold's tossing his undies in the dumpster.
Somewhere.
His dirty.
Healing Match Power says that he was thinking the great follow to Overlord would be Tropic Thunder 2. So thank you for that, Healing Match Power. And yeah, on the subject of Overlord, here we are. I was reading some trivia about it. The movie featured practical effects rather than standard CGI effects that most movies use. This was done to get a better reaction from the actors involved in the scenes where something gruesome would happen. The clickers used by the squad in France were called crickets. Only the 101st Airborne Division was equipped with crickets, and only the paratroopers of the division received it a few days before June 6th. That was something that I believe they portrayed that in Band of Brothers. Did you guys ever watch Band of Brothers? Anybody? Remember in Band of Brothers they would call out like they'd be like thunder, lightning, or something like that. Is that what this is referring to? Because they did that in Overlord, if I remember correctly. So I thought that was an interesting.
They did?
And the famous ping sound that the M1 Garand rifle makes, that famously from like Call of Duty, obviously as well. I remember playing those games as a kid. And ding, ding. Justin, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it's like when you're reloading the shot.
Yeah. They had that in
casing
Overlord,
flies
so
out.
I
And
thought
goes,
that was
ding.
a nice little detail. It does not. So we talked about the swastika stuff, and in an interview with Wyatt Russell, he said that he got mono while filming, and that he lost around 25 pounds. Wow,
Crazy.
I don't even know what mono is.
Would that consider him a method actor?
Yeah, he was taking the Christian Bale approach on that one.
Where did they film this?
That is a good question. I do not know. I feel like it looked like it could have been Europe, but when they film movies in Europe, it's always like Eastern Europe because it's always like cheap to film there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they did film this on a budget for the most part. Yeah, I think some of it was filmed in Europe and some of it was filmed on his soundstage.
Yeah. Did you guys notice how the lighting? Oh, they filmed in the UK. They filmed at Leavesden Studios in the UK, which is like a really famous studio out there that they shoot in. Go ahead, Arnold. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just thinking if I meant to look this up, but if like if it was based on like true story, like that the German army that they were really experimenting on people.
That is a true thing. Nazi scientists did experiment on people and like
see this kind of stuff
camps and shit.
Interests me. I don't know why. I'm a sick person, but tell me more.
That's all I really know, honestly.
So there's like a kind of a mashup of like I don't want to say mythologies, but like backstory and like some rumor. There was experimentation on some of the prisoners, but then there was also this rumor. I'm told it could be a conspiracy theory or something like that, but Hitler and the Nazis were into like what what do you call it? The occult. And so there was this kind of when I watched this film, I was like, oh, I wonder if this plays into that sort of story that they like Hitler believed in, like, resurrection of the dead, and like kind of like wanting to like that whole Third Reich for 1,000 year Reich or whatever is kind of based off of stories that were told about Hitler being into the occult. So I'm curious if that has any sort of connection.
I think so. I mean, I don't know a lot about that history, but I do know that experimenting on people and stuff was a big part of like the Nazi regime during that time, and also not only were they into the occult, I also heard Nazi soldiers were just always on meth. Like that was a new thing. That was like the new drug on the block, I believe.
Really?
So they were just doing a lot of drugs back then. They were just getting high and doing all kinds of fucked up shit.
You guys have a lot to talk about, Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'll probably tell them like, oh, you guys ever try LSD? It'll give you like some superpowers sometimes. You ever hear about people like on acid or LSD? Like,
let them
like lifting up cars
and you
stuff?
give them roller coasters.
Yeah, that's how you would get them, because they'd
You
have
put those
all these
little
like
finger lights on your fingers, and you'd like do a little.
You'd roller coaster them, and then
It'll
you'd
save
like
your life.
trap their arms and then take them to the jail.
Yeah.
If I was a German soldier and I saw Arnold coming out of the woods with lights on his hands, tripping on LSD, I'd be like, what kind of fucking witchcraft? And then I'd be booking it. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I'd be out. I'd quit the army. I'd go live on a farm somewhere else.
That'll be my superpowers.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this, because whenever I watch movies now, I try to watch them with a little bit more of a critical eye, and I always try to think about like the main character or characters of any movie. What is their like core emotional belief in the beginning of the movie? How does that challenge throughout the movie, and how does it change by the end? And with this movie, I was like there's like that's the thesis and the antithesis, but I didn't really get that from this movie. Like there was the main guy, Boyce, was that his name? I was really struggling to like figure out like what is his driving factor, or what is the driving factor for him in this movie emotionally? And aside from just being like a good boy soldier, I didn't really get anything else.
I think his driving force, like his what do you call it? His drive to do what's right, do good, was the simple fact that he was drafted. They talked about it. He was like 1 week, I don't know, he's like 3 months ago I was just a kid mowing the lawn, and then I get a letter and now I'm here, and he doesn't want to be there. That's the thing. He doesn't want to be fighting this war, because obviously he's a black man who like as we all know, they didn't have all the rights. Even after they got back, after they had won helped win the war, they still didn't have voting rights. So that's kind of plays into the history of African Americans, Black Americans back then. And so that's his drive. He's like, his goal is to do good for people who are being, like oppressed. So those French people, that French village, they're being oppressed by this German army, and they're doing these crazy experiments. What's her name? Chloe's aunt was experimented on. They were going to experiment on her brother, if they like had the chance to, and he saw that, and he saw, connection, and that's he connected through humanity.
I only ever heard that during that era the military was still very segregated, because they had black people fight, they had Hispanic people fight, they had Native Americans fight, and they kept them very like segregated from the rest of the military, I guess. So, but it's one of those things that. But did you notice that like they didn't even they didn't mention or allude to his race at all? And I thought that was interesting. He was just another soldier, which is I don't know. I thought that was kind of a refreshing view.
You know, if you think about it like this, all your brothers in arms are dying left and right. At the end of the day, especially in World War II during such a horrific war, does it really matter at that point? I don't think it really mattered to them. I think what mattered was that they got home back to their families, no matter like who they were. So that's why like they called them like the Band of Brothers and things like that, because they were family in that moment trying to fight, an evil that seemed almost undefeatable.
And if you think about it too, like their captain when they were going into that operation was a black man. So that lends to that. He's been in so many movies I can never remember his name, but he led with such like fervor, and they obeyed. I don't want to say obeyed, but they really followed his lead, and he's like, okay, well, he's the head captain of our group. So like, I don't know any terms when it comes to the military yet, obviously, but like, yeah, so it kind of lends to what Justin was saying. Like, they're a band of brothers, so it didn't matter the color of your skin at that point. You're all going into this same war with the same goal. So,
you know who we need on this show? I used to go to high school with a guy named Eddie, Big Eddie. He was a very big guy, very, very big. He was obsessed with military history. And if I could somehow track him down, we should get him on the show sometime. I think he'd go off on all kinds of He was in ROTC. That's how serious he took it. Remember ROTC in high school? For those of you that don't live in the U.S., ROTC is like our way of propagandizing people to join the military because they have no other choice. What'd you say, Justin?
Indoctrinating you into the military.
And by the way, Healing Laughter Power says, he agrees with you, Alex. He says he was forced to be there. He was confused, just trying to get out of it alive and make sure his people came out of it alive. Then falls in love with the French lady, and then he said 1965 they had the right to vote. That sounds right, because that would make sense with the civil rights movement in the 60s. Right? Yeah. So, wow, that's crazy. Was it really until the damn? Yeah,
it was a fairly recent thing that happened where that black people were given the right to vote. Like that was the whole thing. Like all these people who served in all these black men, black women even, who served in the military, like didn't get the right to vote, even though they fought. Because if they we think there's that hypothetical as like say the Allies had lost, there wouldn't be like at all anybody with the right to vote. Like it's kind of
and they've been fighting not just World War II, World War One, the Civil War, and the Revolutionary War. Vietnam, later.
The Korean War.
Yeah. That's crazy. To
go back, and don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
The actor that plays Sergeant Renson is Bokeem Woodbine. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name, but yeah, Bokeem Woodbine is his name.
He's been in so many movies. He's kind of like he's kind of a legendary actor in a lot of like black films, black-led films.
Just his top four: Spider-Man, Homecoming, Ghostbusters, Afterlife, The Rock, Overlord.
Wasn't he in the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin? It's the 30-minute mark. Arnold's doing the grind. He's doing the grind. He was in Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, and he was also in Ray with Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles. And
that's right.
Yeah, a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Arnold, you could be a character actor, man. You could be the guy that does the groovy. What do you call it? The dance you do, the grind.
Oh, just
I
the
can't talk to
swivel
her
of the
for
hips.
some reason. Yeah, the hips.
Loosen
But
up.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so I almost called him Kurt Russell. Wyatt Russell's character Ford. I did appreciate his arc in the end when he sacrifices himself. Spoiler alert. To blow up the experimental lab underneath the tower that they're trying to destroy. That was a nice little arc for him because I thought he was just going to be this meathead guy. Oh, we just got to blow shit up, man. But no, in the end, he's like, just go. I'm going to fucking destroy all this shit. And we can't let anybody ever know about it. And then he fucking sacrifices himself and blows it up.
I feel like he played a really good leader.
Yeah.
You know, like he followed the orders of Joachim. What's his name? The
Sergeant Renson.
Sergeant Renson. He followed the orders. He was like, we have to blow up this tower. We have to blow up this tower. This is our mission. This is our goal. And even when Boyce was like, you know, we have to save that kid. He's like, that's not our mission. But then you kind of see how Boyce becomes a leader by example because he is able to like get the rest of the group. It's like, I mean, this is like a bonus if we save the kid, right? You know, like maybe we could blow up the tower still from underneath, and saving the kid is a bonus, which is like, you know, it's telling of like his Boyce's character growth. You know, because like remember at the very beginning he's like, I could tell you've never even held a gun before. Like he was holding the rifle the wrong way, and they were just all kind of clowning him on him like being afraid. But he kind of like just kind of turns out to be this like really strong leader by doing what's right for you know, the whole group by trying to save that kid. You know, that was very like a really cool arc for him.
Yeah. And tonight's episode brought to you by Nutrigrain, or what is that, Arnold? Nutrirail, nut granola. Nice. Always got to have a snack on deck, right, Arnold?
Always got to be.
That's right.
Just shilling for some company that's never going to give us any money.
It's mainly because it's National Nut Day.
It's National Nut Day? Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm glad
I know
that.
I know, like, you natural nuts.
It's National Nut Day because I was a little hungry, so I had to bust this out.
It's National Nut Day.
Always busting nuts in your mouth, Arnold.
Coming up soon is Nut November.
There you go, Arnold. Yeah. And of course,
you better get those nuts in now.
Tree nuts are high in fat and sugar. Did you guys were you guys expecting more with the ant in the room that was all zombified? Is that even what they weren't zombies, right? But they were, you know, what would you call them?
They were reanimated.
Right. Yeah. So were you guys expecting more closure on that? Because I thought this was going to be more of an intimate movie where it took place in one small location and they were going to be fucked around with reanimated corpses throughout, but it wasn't exactly that. There was a lot more going on. But yeah, did you guys expect more closure on that at all, Justin?
I thought there would have been with the ant, but yeah. But you know, you see her getting shot.
They were experimenting on these people, obviously, and this is just my opinion on what I think was going on. Was that they were experimenting on these poor people in this town. Some of the experiments worked, some of them didn't. I'm assuming to some extent Chloe was wondering where her aunt was at. So they're like, okay, well, here you are, you know, they brought her back, you got to take care of her now. So I don't necessarily think that her aunt was like a failed experiment. I think maybe they got what they needed out of her, filled her up with that serum, and she didn't act like the rest of them, so they were able to just kind of release her. At least that's what I got out of that. So I think her aunt may have died later from her condition, but I don't think anything came of it because they returned her and nothing really was different except for what she looked like, and she looked like a monster. I think that was just like a more of a peek behind the curtain more than anything about like what's actually happening. Because it seemed like the scientists knew like what to expect from the different levels of serum that they were putting into these people. They obviously like stored some of them away. I think they like incinerated some of them as well. Some of them they just kind of left on the table and just like experimented on, like that one headless lady, or not headless lady, but bodiless lady with just the head and the spine,
Oh, yeah,
still
that's crazy.
talking and everything. I think they were just really heavily focused on just testing out what this serum can possibly do. And for those that it didn't affect as much, they kind of just returned them to life as is. So I think unfortunately the aunt was more or less like a not failed experiment, and they were able to just release her back to her family, I think. But I'm assuming when Chloe like received her back, she was like, "What the fuck," and kind of just hid her away because she didn't really know how to handle it. I mean, what do you do with that if you got your aunt back in that condition? What doctor could you go to, especially if your town is occupied by Germans anyway? I don't think there's much she was able to do in that point in time until they came to rescue her.
Yeah, and
So-
I wrote in mine. Oh, go ahead.
I have a this is kind of, I don't want to say it's a plot hole or anything, but it's just kind of like a through line that involves the aunt. Did she do they kill her or do they die? Does she die? Because like what I'm thinking is like they blew up that whole lab and they're like, oh, there's nothing here. And then, but if her aunt is still alive, there's still evidence. She's like, her aunt is basically evidence of what was going on
That's
in that
right.
lab.
Yeah.
So, in a sense that they could still, like, if somebody did the digging, they could find out what was going on by seeing what happened to Chloe's aunt and be like, I don't know. And if they did the research, they could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Not only the aunt though, but also their friend that they loaded up, their compadre that they loaded up with the serum too. So both of those bodies would still be in that house.
Yeah, yeah.
If that
Yeah.
was the case.
But
So, yeah, that
the
an
aunt is the
interesting
actual
viewpoint.
living specimen, right? Like she would even definitely be the one, like because the friend is kind of just like splattered. they voice crushed the guy's head, and like there's like they could be like, why is this guy so mangled and weird looking? And then they could, yeah, you're right. They could probably connect the two. Like, okay, there's something weird going on here.
There was that one animal. Remember they came across it in the woods? They're like, what is this? Like a dog or something?
Yeah.
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 They never really touched on that again, did they? From what I recall.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they kind
this
of-
movie had
they-
a few missing threads like that. Go ahead.
Well, they kind of touch on it, like, in the end with, like, all the carcasses, right?
You mean on the truck? On the truck that...
No. There's, like... Justin, you probably would remember. There's, like... Maybe it's
What
all in my
scene
head,
again?
but, like... So remember as they're going through the forest and they come across that carcass of, like, to me it looked like a pig.
I think it was.
I know what you're talking about.
I think it was actually a dog that they were looking at because of the way that the snout was made.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like it looks
But
like
I
it's
also want to
skinned.
throw it over to, like, remember when when that German Shepherd was chasing him and it sounded and looked like real strange too. So I think they
Yeah.
were probably also testing the serum on animals too, and that's probably
That makes sense.
That was probably one of the test subjects that was like melted into the ground. It was one of the dogs, or it was that other German Shepherd that maybe attacked that one. That's an open-ended thing too.
Yeah.
I like
and-
HLP's question. Did
oh,
you see that?
I did, but hold on. Before we get into that, I have in my notes why didn't he just shoot the dog when he was being chased by him? And then I realize now, what, did he not shoot it just to not have the gunshot be heard by the soldiers? Is that why? Because I was like, why wouldn't you just shoot it? That this thing is clearly going to kill you.
Yeah, I feel like if he shot the dog, then that whole mission would have just been for naught, because everybody would have been like, oh man, we have Americans here trying to take over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that immediately would have ended the mission for sure.
Arnold, do you want to read HLP's question in the chat? It is a good one. You're right.
So, on your deathbed, would you inject the tar?
I wouldn't personally. Not if I knew what it would do to you. No.
Oh yeah,
That's just me.
If I had the pre-existing knowledge of knowing what it would do to me, probably not. But if someone came up to me and I had no idea of what this thing was, but the person was like, if you inject this into you, you will live. I don't even know how long this serum will let me live for, but they're like, it'll let you live and it has regenerative abilities, but they don't tell you the side effects about it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great. What's the catch?
Well, remember, it's the 1,000-year Reich, so
Yeah.
at least 1,000 years.
You think the serum automatically turns you into a Nazi?
Maybe. Well, I don't think it turns into a Nazi because Ford did.
It just turns you into a maniac that doesn't have any idea of what's good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all maniacs are Nazis, but all Nazis are maniacs. So.
I've actually had this same conversation with HLP in the past, and it more pertained to having immortality or whatever like that. And I always go back to the idea of in Lord of the Rings, the elves, they live for eternal. They're eternal, right? But then they bring about the whole the quandary of you will see everybody else around you die. Everybody that you love, everything that you care for will eventually go away. And everything has its seasons, but you will forever stay that way. And I don't want to do that, and that's kind of a selfish thing to put yourself in a position where, oh, I'm going to live forever, but then everybody else around me gets to die. That's, to me, allowing that to be because all you'll remember is because I think about it, with my dad passing away, right? He passed away, and that's a very sad thing. But at the same time, it's regardless of what you believe in, there's this idea of well, if you pass on, energy is energy. And maybe in, whether it's in Christian beliefs or if it's no beliefs at all or science, energy will meet again, basically, and my energy will meet with my father's energy, and maybe we'll recognize each other, but if I'm stuck here in this body, I will never have that opportunity, if you think about that,
Alex, are you superstitious at all?
Am I superstitious?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I used to be when I was a kid, but not today. No.
And I feel like there's levels to superstition. I remember my dad telling us about in Philippine culture, there's a lot of superstitions down to there was kind of a silly one. So
don't fall asleep with your hair wet.
Oh, that.
Or you'll grow mushrooms.
I have to know, why can't you fall asleep with your hair wet? What's the?
Oh yeah, what is it?
The stition there.
You'll grow mushrooms.
I think it's just you'll get sick, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Don't walk outside barefoot in the rain or with water because you'll get sick.
Yeah, and there's another Filipino superstition: don't let sweat dry on your back, or something like that.
I remember Dad telling me about one where it was like, say, you're having breakfast in the morning. This is a morning superstition. It's only for the morning, and then like you're with the family, and then you're in a rush, and you have a bowl of like rice or whatever that everyone is getting, and then you got like the serving spoon in it, and then if you're in a rush, and then you put the bowl down, and then the serving spoon that's in it, say this is a spoon, you put it down, and all of a sudden it's pointing at someone. Whoever it's pointing at is gonna have bad luck for the day.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn.
There's another one that my ex told me about. One of my exes, and she said that you never give shoes as a gift, because if you give them as a gift, that person will walk away from you. So yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I believe that shit.
Wow.
But then what
believe it.
if you give it to somebody and then their purpose for the shoes is to flip them?
No, there's if you get that's irrelevant.
Let me give you a Mexican one.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Hearing about, which is in the Mexican culture, there's something called the ojo or el ojo, which is translates to the eye, and it's some weird thing that like people think babies get or something, and like if they get it, you got to take them to somebody who knows how to like relieve them of that. And I don't even know what the hell it really.
Did you get the eye, Justin?
It's some metaphysical Mexican superstition that like people think is a thing or something. It's really weird. And I don't know where any of this comes. I'm sure it's all based on like religion and stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of strangeness. And yeah, like even in like regular American culture, there's like don't walk under a ladder, right? What is that? 7 years of bad luck or something? And well, what's the thing with throwing salt over your shoulder? Is that a thing people do?
If you spill salt, you throw it over your shoulder for.
Yeah.
He fucking does that in Phantom Thread. Did you guys ever see Phantom Thread with Daniel Day-Lewis? Did you guys ever watch that movie?
No.
But he does that.
Dumb and
He
Dumber.
sits down. Mind you, this is a very educated, very successful dressmaker in like England or wherever the hell it took place. And he like sits down for dinner and he like fucking throws salt over his shoulder. And I was like, what? Okay, well that's a thing, I guess. So. Let us know in the chat if you have any other superstitions you guys want to chat
I
about.
want to say one last thing, going back to eternal life. Just imagine all the movies you'd watch.
A lot of movies. You'd have all the time in the world for, that's what Tom Hanks' character should have done in Green Mile. Did you guys
He
ever
should have
watch
just
Green Mile?
pulled up and watched movies.
And the Green Mile, Tom Hanks' character, who, by the way, I respect as an actor, he lives forever, and like he sees everyone around him die, as he grows older, and but you imagine all the time in the world, he literally has all the time in the world, so
Imagine like outliving everyone that you know, and
that'd be sad.
That would suck.
I wouldn't want to
That
outlive
would
my
suck.
son. That would be sad. You know what I mean? That'd be
Yeah.
really sad. But let's not get too existential on the Never See the podcast, because that's not what this podcast is about. Although we do have some great side tangents, I will admit. That's Overlord. I think that's pretty much. I don't really have much more else to say. I will just rapid fire notes here that I wrote. Saving Private Ryan references galore. Cute French girl is cute. Nazi officer going straight for the clam when he was like going down on her. I was like, wow. Why would he just shoot the dog? We talked about that. I don't know what's scarier, dismembered bodies or the fact that they're speaking German. Giovanni Ribisi death scene with the guy in the attic when he comes right before he gets reanimated. That just reminded me of Giovanni Ribisi's death in Saving Private Ryan. Trojan death. That was a cool scene where the guy in the motorcycle goes through the gates and then it blows up. That was fucking cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And then Wyatt Russell. He's built Ford Tough, and that is his name, Built Ford Tough. But yeah, those are my rapid fire notes. Arnold, what are your final thoughts about this movie? Actually, no. Sorry, we have to wait. We have to hold off on you. But let's go around the room and give our final thoughts. Justin, since this was your movie, tell us, what are your final thoughts?
Like I said in the beginning of the show, I've seen this movie both in the theater and at home. I feel like my opinion of the movie has changed ever so slightly. I really like the film. I thought it was a blast to watch. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it is kind of crazy, creepy. The special effects are amazing, especially when he has that side of his face all torn up and everything. I thought that was really cool. Honestly, that picture alone deserves the cover of the movie. I really like that scene, especially when he starts fighting and then they have like the serum fighters fighting each other, Ford and the other guy. Really fun movie to watch. Really kind of turn off your brain, enjoy type of flick. Has some horror elements to it. I think the difference between viewing it at home and the theater is that in the theater it just seemed so much bigger and louder and more extravagant. And then watching at home, although I had like my theater system, pumping, I didn't get that same feeling I got when I first saw it in the theater. Again, when I first saw it in the theater, it was just kind of a random, because I didn't hear about the movie either when it first came out. I was just invited to go see it. I think it was on a date or something. Like I went on like a date, went to go see it, and yeah, and I loved the film. I didn't know what it was about. I was like, wow, this is great. I love like that World War II era aesthetic. I love like World War II history. I read up and watched a lot of stuff on it, so it was kind of like right up my alley when it first started to get going. But from the moment that they were in the plane to the moment that they wrapped up the movie, I was still thoroughly invested, both in the theater and outside of the theater. I think if you haven't seen it, try it at least once. It is a fun film to watch. It is a little bit gruesome and grotesque, but it's not as bad as some other things that we've seen on this channel.
Yeah, exactly. The body horror was nothing compared to like the substance, I think.
Yeah. The body horror was definitely, it was there, but it wasn't anything too extreme that, you couldn't like handle it. But unless like you're just a major wussy for like body horror grotesque movies, I don't think it's too bad. By the way, I also wanted to say is that this is actually what's the studio's name behind this? It's like Bad Robot. This is actually Bad Robot's first rated R feature. Just letting you know. Overlord 2018, according to my research. Anyway, I appreciate the movie for what it is. It's definitely not as extravagant and not as much of a spectacle as it was in the theater. And I'm kind of sad that not more people have seen this movie. I would highly suggest you go see it. It's really good. Nice. I think so on my Letterboxd, I have rated this movie already. I gave it a 5. Now that I've had a second viewing of it, I think I'm going to pop it down to about 3.5.
A rare downgrade.
Yeah, I'm going to downgrade it to a 3.5. It is a great movie, and I would probably even watch it again. Just like if there's somebody that's never seen it, I'm going to be like, hey, you should watch it. I'll watch it with you. It's a great movie. As far as rewatchability for me personally goes, this is kind of a once in a while if I feel like watching a bunch of German soldiers getting killed type of deal, and they happen to be zombies. So again, it's going to be 3.5. Solid movie. Definitely recommend it. I do like it. And you can find me on social medias, GhostNerd88, or, since this is more fitting, Shibs the Zombie on socials as well. You can click the link on either or, and you can find me on all the things that I'm a part of, all the socials. Although I've backed out a little bit, you can still find me, and I'll still share silly things all the time.
Oh, we will definitely find you, Justin. Don't worry about that. No, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Good pick. Interesting movie. Alex, what are your final thoughts, my friend, and where can people find you?
Yes. I really, really enjoyed this film. I'm really glad that Justin, you recommended it. It's but for I think I mentioned it to you guys before the show we started recording. It was the first time in a while that I just kind of like did it. I sat and watched the movie and didn't write any notes on it. Not to say that I couldn't have, but I just was enjoying the movie from beginning to end. Like
You pulled an Arnold.
Huh?
Because I never take any notes.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I just really enjoyed the movie, and the, there there were a lot of points where I feel like it was flawed, but at the same time, it didn't really like like remove the suspension of disbelief. You know, like there were moments where like the way all these when they were evacuating that plane, right? The pressure, the cabin pressure would have just sucked everybody out of that plane, and everybody would have died. You know, the way that everybody's like that core group, those important core four, like survived. It was like almost incomprehensible that they survived. But then, you know, that's the whole thing about like it's that suspension of disbelief, because like, I was just having such a fun ride with this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed the performance by I don't know the actor's name, but Boyce. He really um, embodied that sort of, you know, that growth. You know, the where he was afraid, but he was thrown into the situation, and he's like, you saw him just take on this leadership role and like stick to his guns to of what he felt was right, and saving that kid was the right thing to do. And you know, but also at the end too, he was still, it's like, no, we could save everybody. He wanted to save the Wyatt Russell's character, but he's like, no, like you need to go. You need to finish this mission. And that was cool too. Like Wyatt Russell's character was really cool too. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed his character a lot more than I did his character as his turn as U.S. agent. Like I feel like there's something lacking with his character as U.S. agent. It seems kind of flat, even in when they introduced him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That film felt like his character in that just felt like he lacked any substance to like really bite my teeth into. Whereas this character, it like he had reason, he had purpose, and as to why he was the way he was. He didn't have any backstory, but it didn't. You didn't really need that because he embodied his character so well, and like it almost was like lent as a mentor to Boyce's character, which is really cool too. You know, like he led as an example to Boyce to become the person he was at the very end of the film. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film. The practical effects of this film were like phenomenal. Like you could tell that they were practical effects. They probably used very little CGI just to like enhance the practical effect. But man, I love that last sequence when he's running out of the room and all the things are the explosives. You see the floor giving way from out from under him. You know, that was really cool. I thought that was such a fun sequence. I was like, I would have loved to have seen how, like, been in the room to see how that was done, because that just looked so cool to me. It's been a while since I've seen a film that like really I enjoyed, in the sense that like with like this kind of special like a practical effect. Maybe some like Guillermo del Toro's films, like Pan's Labyrinth is another one. But even that, like, I don't know, for some reason Overlord just felt so much. I don't want to say better as in practical effects. It just felt like, to me, a bit more tangible. You know, like I could see myself like grasping, whereas like the some of the effects, not all of the effects, but like there's that fairy, the in Pan's Labyrinth, that felt like very, very CGI to me. And I was like, that moment in that film almost takes me out of the film. Like, okay, this feels like really weird. Whereas like there's not a moment the in Overlord that made me question like maybe that was real, you know? So yeah. But overall, my score for this, I give it a 4. I really recommend it to anybody who's looking for. To me it's a very light horror film. It's more of like, to me it's like, it has horror elements, very much more of an action, a war, like, and this is the kind of period piece, quote unquote, very loosely, being a period piece. But yeah, this is the kind of period piece that I would enjoy watching, like as a war film, you know. But yeah, and you can find me at Daily Dares and all the socials, and go check out the link in my bio to see all the stuff that I'm involved in, including Collectible Galaxy on Depop, and very soon we will be posting my trip to TwitchCon, my 4 hours at TwitchCon, where I bought this.
What does it say?
Anti-social social club. It's that they did Minecraft did a collab with that clothing brand.
I'm gonna steal it off of your naked body.
Minecraft.
I'm gonna make sure make sure you're naked first.
Minecraft.
I'm
that's
sure,
the game on the internet.
definitely.
Right?
Yeah, it's all the coin-op gamings. You go to the arcades.
La 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 la. Chicken. No, that's a copyright strike. Thanks for that, Alex. I love that scene at the end where he's running out of the tunnels and stuff, and all that stuff is exploding. That was straight out of a Call of Duty game, but the pyrotechnics were great. The fire and smoke and debris and all that exploding around him was fantastic.
Can I add one thing before?
Of course.
Because you said Call of Duty. So the first time Call of Duty Zombies came around was during Call of Duty World at War. And that was the first time that zombies were introduced into the Call of Duty franchise, and they were Nazi zombies that were experimented on.
Yep. So, everything's a remix, as they say. Everything's a remix. There's no such thing as a true original idea at the end of the day. So, and you get inspired by, who was it that said, was it Steve Jobs? Great artists steal. So
he said, I'm dead. Peace, homies.
Yeah. Arnold. Hey, we're past the 30-minute mark again, and you didn't give us the grind. You don't have to if you didn't want to. It's fine.
Please don't.
Are you looking at Carla for approval, or what are you?
No, I think somebody's here. Oh yeah. No, well, it's time to just everybody go with me. Just no,
that's perfect. You gotta get a good. Oh, you're both wearing your NSIP shirts, and Justin, you got some leopard print on. Nice. This is the kind of vibe we bring to the Never Seen It podcast. No, I bet you won't find this on any other podcast called Never Seen It. By the way, there's no way. There's no way. We only have.
It's kind of a movie. We talk about movies where we do a lot of fitness, hence the stretching. So
actually, I thought you were going to say it's a podcast where we talk about our oral hygiene or something, Arnold, because
that too. That's coming up next.
Never seen it. Yeah, never seen
next
it.
Next time, I'll be brushing my teeth, brushing my tongue, brushing my throat, my palate. No, because you guys messed me up.
How does that work, Arnold? How does brushing your throat work?
You were talking about Game of Thrones. You're talking about. I said Game of Thrones. Somebody out there said Game of Throats. I don't even know what that is, but
yeah.
But anyways,
I was
Focus.
talking about left for head.
Left,
Ooh, what's
left
that?
forehead, yeah.
Oh.
Left forehead too, the heading. Arnold,
Yeah.
what are your final thoughts
So-
on
so-
Overlord? Oh, and
Overlord,
really quick. Wyatt
2018.
Russell was in a 2017 movie called, and this is true, Goon, Last of the Enforcers. So
Oh, yeah.
we should do that next.
And one last thing. I swear I won't interrupt anymore. Do you think
right.
Kurt Russell named his son Wyatt after Wyatt Earp because he played Wyatt Earp?
Yes.
Wow, I never considered that. That might
Wow.
be right, dude.
I would bully him.
Yeah. I got
Arnold,
his phone
you'll be
number.
his Uncle
Wait,
Bear.
never mind. I don't have his phone number. Just kidding.
But in all seriousness, Arnold, what are your final thoughts on
Yeah.
Overlord?
I really enjoyed this movie. Justin, the great pick. P-I-C-K, not P-I-C. But that was a good pick that you said. To my phone. Yesterday, I watched the movie yesterday. I got to get a sneak peek, and not just a sneak peek, but actually a tour of Disney Cotino, the what do you call it? I guess like Disney's Country Club. The
yeah.
Storybook Living.
Give us
we
more
got to-
context, because I think, or we should give more context, which is, for those of you that don't know, the desert, Palm Springs area, is a very destination-y type of town. And the mouse, right, Arnold, has built an exclusive, gated, Disney-themed community. What's it called?
Cotino.
Cotino.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's the first
Cochino?
one in the world.
Cochino?
Cochino?
Was it called Cochino?
Cochino.
Even you guys know that word.
No, it was Cotino, but then it became Cochino when this guy came.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you went.
Yeah, we got to do some of the paddle boats. I had
What did
5
you
burgers,
came where? Where'd you come where? You came where?
inside the
paddle
gates.
Outside the
Early
gates of
gates?
Cochino?
Yeah.
Cotino. Then it became Cochino.
That's French.
Because of you.
Jism. Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, I had 5 burgers there, a big, huge mound of potato
Sliders,
salad. Oh yeah, okay. There were sliders, all right. But they were really good. You know, it had like hummus, Dole Whip, a nice mocktail.
A Dole Whip?
Yeah, Dole Whip.
A Dole Whip, Arnold? Whip? You put Cool Whip on your pumpkin pie?
Hey man, you now you're making me say adult whip.
Sorry.
Dole Whip. Oh, all these plays of words and what do you call
Well,
it?
you're
Slip of the
a
tongue.
real wordsmith, Arnold. Let's be real. You really
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
how to bring it. You know all the
Better be
euphemisms.
real.
You're the euphemism king. Arnold.
So long story short, went on
story
this,
short.
and I ate a lot. And did a lot of walking, and the paddle boats. That was a good workout, especially after physical therapy. And I still had to watch the movie. So I watched it last night. I was locked in. Dang, I didn't get tired or sleepy at all. It was really good, like action, suspense, and a little bit of horror sprinkled in. Like the horror came in later, which I was like, yeah, this is kind of nice. It's like when you drink a glass of wine, the action was like a big punch right on the mouth. Then you get a lot of the suspense, when he's like sneaking into the church. That was the church, and we're like, oh gosh, that's a lot of like stuff on the mid palate, like on the mid, and then you get more of the scary stuff, the horror stuff, with the experimenting that they're doing, and you see like the aunt and the different people that they're experimenting on, like the thought of it is a little scary. That's on the finish. That's on the back palate, like towards the back of the palate. But overall, it was just really, really good. And it did make me start thinking like crazy. If they really did do that kind of stuff, which I'm sure I mean, when you have people in power and scientists and experimenting, like, man, that's crazy. Like, I wonder if they
Black tar.
yeah, yeah, that black tar.
Black tar heroin.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty much what it was.
yeah. I thought it was really really good movie. I enjoyed it. I also would give a similar rating, Alex. In my mind, I was thinking of 4. I'm gonna give it a letterbox 4 as well. I think that's one of the highest scores that I've given in a while.
Yeah.
A lot of, yeah, this is the highest. I can't remember the last time.
And that's not the only score you give. Now it's my favorite part of the show, Arnold, where you give us the Arnold snooze-o-meter. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, all that in. What was your snooze-o-meter score, Arnold?
Snooze-o-meter is a 0.
Whoa!
0 Z's.
No snooze
0
on this
Z's.
one.
I had Dole Whip. I had Snickers. I had Bueno.
Sliders.
I had ice cream. I had 5 burgers.
Did you have, what's the Filipino dish? Puto? Is it puto?
I had puto. I had
Bibingka.
Binka.
Bibingka.
That sounds like
actually,
dessert.
It is.
yeah.
Right on the nose.
Nice.
Right on the nose.
Puto is a sweet rice cake. It's delicious.
I need to have one of those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I can
yeah,
hook you
so
up.
0 snooze score. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah,
good.
It was really good. Really
Wow.
good. I highly recommend this. It also has a high rewatchability. I'll probably watch it again, maybe next spooky season, or maybe
right.
Or maybe
don't
during
know.
the next World War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is coming up in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a little bit of motivation to fight some Nazis.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of that going on. I thought that was one of the reasons why he picked it, because, you know, there's a lot of Nazis.
Yeah.
Now.
I feel like you got it right on the nose, because that is another reason why I picked it, is because, like, who doesn't like to see a movie about, like, Nazis dying? I mean,
The Green Room.
The Green Room is
had
great.
Skinheads.
The Green
Remember?
Room.
Was that the
Yeah,
one we were thinking about
neo-Nazis.
earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the
Neoliberal Nazis.
the liberal Nazis, yeah, because they were liberal skinheads from Portland area. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Call
It's
back.
a callback, Justin. Thank you for that.
That was like what?
That's a
episode
deep
4
cut
or-
right there, my friend.
That was
up
like
there yeah.
what was that? That
when
was
we had
season
seasons.
2.
That was
Yeah, I
episode
think it
1
was
of
season
season 2.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
That's up there with this
Yeah.
movie just watches itself for you.
man. Well, you can find me everywhere at Arnie Kalego.
Yeah.
And see what I'm up to. I got to post more, so that way you guys will know what I'm up to. So we've done me, Arnie the One Man Party, then Alex, Alilu, aka Alilu, Filipino Grigio,
Nope, that's not my name.
Justin, Ghost Nerd 88. Last but not least, we got
That's not my name either.
That's not my name.
should be the zombie.
Yeah, get my name right.
Zombie.
Damn it. Jeez, Arnold.
My name is
I'm not gonna
Brad
respond to you.
Pittler.
Brad Pittler?
Yeah, Brad Pittler is my
I like
name.
that name. Brad Pittler.
My name is Henny Omega.
All
Now,
right.
that sounds like a wrestling name.
Now, everybody, say it with me. We got BOOTZ too big.
Thanks
What's
for
your
tossing
final
it to me,
thoughts?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to say Chris in the chat said earlier, Chef Boy Arnie has got to be on the Iron Chef as a Food Network star. I could see that for sure.
No, I'd also poopy my chotis there too.
You need to get an agent to get you on these reality cooking shows, Arnold. I think you'd be a shoo-in, honestly. So
An agent, Arnold, not an Asian.
yeah,
Oh, I know. I know. I heard that. You're the one who heard it wrong.
see, this show's like Philadelphia. You really feel the brotherly love. You know what I mean? on the Never Seen It podcast. But no, thanks for that, Arnold. I just want to mention really quick on Letterboxd, reading some of the reviews. User Reaper Reads says, I just needed to watch a movie where Nazis get the shit beat out of them. That's a straightforward review. That's all you need to say. But no, my final thoughts are, look, I enjoyed this movie. It was a fun hour and 50-minute romp, or 45-minute, whatever it was. It was a lot, very action-packed. But in the end, I felt like it took a little while for the story to get going. Like, I was expecting more Nazi stuff almost from the get-go, and not Nazi stuff, zombie stuff, or whatever you want to call them. But I feel like the movie took a little while to get
Nazis, zombies, banana, banana.
And then I thought the main villain, which we barely even talked about, I thought he was kind of weak. Like, yeah, he had a prime directive, which is 1,000-year Reich, and got to do all these experiments and reanimate these people and all that. But I don't know. Other than that, his motivations were very surface level. So I thought it was kind of a weak villain. But overall, like I said, it was action packed. It was Nazi zombies and shit and whatnot getting killed. So that's always fun. And I also thought that the World War II setting was interesting. So I did enjoy that. But I'm going to give this movie a much lower score than you guys. And this is a fair but strong 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. So that's my score for Letterboxd. I didn't hate it. Had some weaknesses. Overall, decent movie to watch. So I have to say, I enjoyed the trailer. I watched the trailer for this before I watched it, and I was like, oh, this looks fucking epic. And then I think I enjoyed the trailer more than the movie. But that's okay. That happens sometimes.
What did you rate Saving Private Ryan? What did you
Saving Ryan's Privates?
Saving Private Ryan's like a 5-star
That's actually
movie.
an adult movie too.
Yeah.
There is a movie called Saving Ryan's Privates, available at a video.
There's one called. There was one called when I worked at Video Depot called Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Nice.
I think I've heard that one. I heard of that one. Yeah.
the part two for that one was just very bold, waxing
Private Ryan's Privates.
Yeah.
But that's the movie. That's Overlord. That's it, fellas. I think we did it. You can find me on Letterboxd at Boots Too Big. You can find the show everywhere. Just follow me through the show because we're everywhere. Never Seen a Podcast. We're on Instagram. We're on X. We're on Blue Sky. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We are on what are we not on? We're on Facebook. Follow us everywhere. We have our website, neverseenitpodcast.com. We throw up all of our episodes on there. Our back catalog of episodes with such gems as the movie watches itself for you. That's all on there. Our entire back catalog is on there. I call it a back catalog because it makes it sound more, like we're on the up and up, but you know what I mean. And neverseenitpodcast.com. Did you watch Overlord? What's your favorite Nazi horror, Wolfenstein-like genre, whether it's a game or a movie? Let us know in the comments. Obviously, like and subscribe to us. Oh, and by the way, we're on Discord. I share the Discord link in our show notes every episode. Check us out on Discord, and we have a subreddit. So yeah, I'm not kidding when I say we're everywhere, because in this day and age, we're trying to, make some money off this bad boy somehow, some way when we get to 1 million followers. And Arnold's gonna be the spearhead of that, right, Arnold? So you're gonna go to Hollywood. You're gonna become the Iron Chef, and you're gonna promote the show. So at least I hope so. Don't forget us when you become famous. But yeah, that's the show, everybody. Does anybody have any final words? Any final words from the gentleman?
Go punch some fucking Nazis for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner.